Hey everybody, welcome to the Real You. I am your host, MC Charlene, aka the Energy Goddess, and today I'm sitting with a superstar. Yes, a Cameroonian superstar. His name is Salatiel. Welcome, Salatiel.
Thank you.
Now let me tell you guys, Salatiel is a celebrated Cameroonian musician, producer, and songwriter known as the High Man General. How did I do? He's a pioneer of Afropop and Afrobeat in Cameroon, blending traditional rhythms with modern sounds. Okay, as a founder of the Alpha Beta Records, Salatiel has been instrumental in nurturing local talents and elevating Cameroonian music on the global stage. His collaborations, okay, including feature on Beyonce's The Lion King, the Gift album, okay, have earned him international acclaim. That's for sure, okay? Salatiel's work reflects not just on his exceptional artistry, but also his deep passion for storytelling and cultural preservation. Welcome, Salatiel.
Thank you, MC Charlene.
I hope that intro was good.
It's a good one.
Oh
Good
yeah.
job there.
Thank you, thank you, thank
Lot
you.
of energy in
Yeah.
the
Okay, so please, Salatiel, tell us about yourself. Who is Salatiel?
Well, you just said it. I'm a young African and a young Cameroonian that has a lot of passion for music, making music, and yeah, young African musician.
So tell me about your journey to music. How did it start? About your childhood and what made you want to be a musician?
Well, I grew up in a Christian home. My father was a pastor, so the church was was the first place for me doing music. I got introduced to music, watching from afar from a very young age, but started doing music later on in secondary school and started in church like usual, like every kid in church, playing instruments, singing, writing songs for choirs, directing choirs later on. I fell in love with studio music. I wanted to record my music. I wanted to record my own songs. I wanted to know how to do it. And so I got into production like really early on, around 2007.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been, what, 18 years now?
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's been 18 years doing it. And I'm glad that I chose music and that music chose me.
What did your parents think about it? Because you know African parents and music. You're supposed to be an engineer, a doctor,
Yeah, I
or
was supposed to be a medical doctor,
right.
I was in the medical school,
Yeah.
and that was too much studies for me.
Too much studies. You're like book,
Studies,
the
yeah,
book
like
of
too
a
much studies,
plenty.
and I went for a normal degree in zoology.
The,
Yeah,
okay.
so gave me time to do music, and my parents were not happy about it. Trust me.
No.
And it took a lot of discipline from my side
Yeah.
and a lot of professionalism in doing music to prove to my family that music is worth it. Today, music has done a lot, not just for me, but for me, my family, and those that surround me. I think right now, what I have with family is respect.
Of course.
What I chose.
Your parents were okay with it.
The way-
Eventually,
Eventually.
when the money started rolling in.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
when it started rolling in, parents always want what's good for their kid.
Of
And,
course.
probably back in the days, music was not considered a lucrative career
That's true.
to pick on. So um, when it started being something real, when it became real in my life, I think
Yeah.
eventually we respected what I was doing.
I can understand that. So tell me about growing up in a country like Cameroon, because it's not that easy in Cameroon. You know, economically, it's challenging. So how do you find yourself in music that is a very expensive career? You know, because everything costs when you're doing music.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So
And it's a lot of hurdles growing up in Cameroon, but it's also a blessing at the same time because Cameroon is like a clean slate. I think this is one of the easiest places to blow up as an artist. There's a lot of mediocrity in the industry what is musical, especially when I was coming up as a young person. Young people didn't really have any real references or mentors that they could go close to. So any young person that is disciplined enough and that is pushful enough, Cameroon is one of the easiest of all the places I've been in the world. I think Cameroon is one of the easiest places for an artist to blow up despite their background. It doesn't cost as much as it costs in other more established industries to set yourself up in Cameroon. I think the biggest challenge as a musician in Cameroon is blowing up or going beyond
Cameroon.
because there you meet the realities and standards of different places. You go to the US, the standards are like all over the roof. And so it takes 10 times more the work you would put in as a Cameroonian to blow up in Cameroon. Blowing up in Cameroon, it was one of the easiest.
It wasn't challenging at all?
It was challenging, of course. It is challenging. It's never easy. It's never that easy, especially in an environment like this. Like I said, if you are disciplined enough, if you're pushful enough, if you are professional enough about what you wanna do, it's easy to break out. You can easily break out in Cameroon. But going out of there beyond Cameroon, it becomes more and more
challenging. So you're Bangi.
My mom is Bangi.
Your mom is Bangi, and your dad is
from my dad is Bakwiri. Sawa is more of a Sawa.
Okay.
Yeah.
You speak English.
Yeah.
Cameroon is bilingual. There's two parts. You have the English part, you have the French part.
Yeah.
And the French part is the majority, and the English part is the minority.
Yeah.
And a lot of English artists find it very difficult in terms of the pressure that comes from the English people, because when immediately you start singing too much in French, people start complaining. How have you been able to handle that?
Well, I'm a businessman, and my primary market being Cameroon. The first thing I did, creating what most artists are doing today as Afrobeat sound in Cameroon, which is a mixture of urban music sounds from around the world with traditional rhythms. And for me, the first solution, the first problem that I had to solve was how to do music that every Cameroonian, which is the first market in front of me, that every Cameroonian is going to feel. And that the solution was doing it with French and English without
mixing
transition. Without transition. So such that the English speaker hears the song, understands it without needing a translation. And so the French speaker hears the song, understands it fully without needing a translation.
Wow, that's some art. That's smart. You did well.
The blowing up of the urban music scene that we have in Cameroon since 10 years now, that was the formula. Just doing music that everybody is going to listen to. And it was easy. I could see artists from the French zone singing music. It's good, but you go to the English zone, people don't feel it as much as they feel it in the French.
That's true.
Same with English speaking artists, which was even worse for us because we do music and minority 20% of the people you have to market just for 20% of the people. But my father being a pastor and having been I spent a lot of my childhood in some French zones. So got to learn French like really young at a very young age, and also understanding it, because it's not just the language. Every language goes with lifestyle, mindset of people and stuff, and understanding the mindset, how the people understand and see things. And it was just a matter of putting all of that together, putting all of those live experiences together and what I had seen to make music that Cameroonians are going to consume without needing an interpretation whatsoever.
And then you opened a record label called Afrovibes Records. Wow. You produce, you write. Wow, impressive.
Oh,
How did the record label come about?
well, I was working in a studio, which was a very commercial studio, and it was a blessing because I got to do every genre of music that exists out there. I mean, every genre, from blues to jazz to traditional to every genre. But there came a time when I wanted to create my sound
Yeah.
and create something that could be my thing, and
Yeah.
not just sitting in the studio and having artists coming from everywhere around the country and like, yeah, I do mean this music. I want my music to sound like this and this. I wanted to have something that is mine.
Yes. Yeah.
So I decided to have my own setup, my own studio setup. Started producing already in my house, in my home back in the days, and creating my own sound and creating my own music. And I had friends, brothers, people I was mentoring. One of them was Mr. Leo.
Yeah.
And definitely was my first artist. Yeah, and that's how Alphabeta Records was born. It was an effort, a collective effort between myself, especially, and Mr. Leo. Put together the little we had until it started paying off and putting it back into the business and creating Alphabeta Records.
Amazing. And how's it going? How's the record label going? Still
It's
standing?
good. It's good. It was we were four artists in the beginning, or some years back. Right now, we are recruiting new artists.
Yeah.
Because Alphabeta Records is not just a label that just signs and produces artists, but does artistic development for artists. So we sign our artists from zero, develop them till they become stars. So we are in the process of creating the second wave of Alphabeta Records artists.
Right. And you have collaborated with a lot of international artists. But the biggest one was Queen Bee. How did that collaboration come about? Tell me. Beyonce is the queen. Wow, tell me about it. How did it come
about? And
about?
not just Beyonce, but Pharrell Williams.
Yeah, Pharrell, yeah.
That's very important.
Of course, of course. You know,
I am a producer too.
Yeah.
And I grew up listening to Pharrell music.
Yeah.
Wanting to do music like Pharrell. And I found myself in the middle of a collaboration with
Pharrell
and Beyonce.
Yeah. Well, it was on Beyonce's album.
Oh yeah. There's no big story behind that collaboration.
Yeah.
I was sitting in my house one day and phone rang and what's up? Yeah, we are in Bees management and we're working on a project. We checked you out, we checked out your catalog, and would you mind doing a song or collaborating on Queen Bee's album? At first I thought it was a scam. Of course, like what? But there was follow up and it was real.
Yeah.
It was real. It came as a huge surprise for me because I didn't apply for that. I didn't ask for that. I didn't know something like that was going on. So I got the call and what's up? We want you to work on, or we want to work on a project with you. Send me a template of beat and like, yeah, can you complete this production and complete the songwriting, collaborate on this project? Wow. It was. And it went viral. It can be, what else do you expect? And your voice was amazing. And I love the fact that you were in the video. Oh yeah. I really, really, really loved it. It was a very challenging project because it came in the middle of COVID. Yeah. Right. We missed out on a lot of things that we could do during that period. We were supposed to have a Black is King tour. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. There were a lot of things that were going to happen, but then it was in the middle of COVID. Even the shooting of the video was very, very complicated because travels were difficult. Oh my God. So that collaboration just skyrocketed your Spotify listenership. Oh, yeah. I was like, wow. When you posted it, I was like, God is good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, but funny to say, there was a lot of like mixed reactions. People were happy for you, but I could read and I saw that a lot of people felt like you didn't leverage on it. Industry is very different from what people see on social media. And right. The Beyonce collaboration is a blessing. Yeah. And for me, it's just another project.
Yeah.
Just like any other collaborations. I've done collaborations with other very important artists around the world, Michelle from Haiti and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's one of those projects that is it. My career was already on, still on today. I'm touring the world. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I am not a person that thinks that I believe that God has a way of doing things, and when things come, they come. It came, it came, it's there. We've done it, it's there. On to the next one. Moving, continuing, doing what I am doing, what I love doing, and continue my journey.
Right. We're going to go on a little break and we'll be right back. We are back. Can you share with me a personal story that you feel like has changed your life?
I would go back to the COVID period because it came at a time when a lot of things were popping up for me and a lot of things were happening at a very high speed. I wasn't, I mean, we worked for that, but we weren't expecting it. But I think the COVID period changed me a lot because I kind of took a break and got to understand that life and career is deeper than just one opportunity.
Right.
You work for it, you build it step by step. It's a step by step process, and you get there with time and with the work that you put in and consistency.
Yeah.
I think that period changed a lot about me. You know, you have plans to fail 2 years, still waiting for things to open up.
Right.
And 2 years, 3 years, and then you're like, okay, I need to start seeing life differently. You start looking at family more.
Yeah.
You know, artists out there is crazy. Every day you're out there, you're meeting thousands of people, and you just keep going until something puts you down and makes you look at life and think again and be like, okay, I need to be grateful for what I have, grateful for the fact that I have a chance to be part of my building process, to build my life, to build my career, to build the things. One thing is for sure, I'm a good musician. The world
That's
knows
for sure.
Yeah.
So, being a musician, I'm sure is not easy. Like you mentioned, you're traveling, you don't have time for family and all that. What would you say, apart from not having time, I also know that money is a problem, you know, collaborations, trying to go global. What would you say are your challenges as a musician living in Cameroon?
The first thing is a country like Cameroon. Having been out there, what I see is it feels like Cameroon and the French market in general, Cameroon in particular, it feels like there's a kind of a shadow. I don't know why I've asked these questions to many industry people, and it looks like a more geographical. It feels like a problem which you can't find any real solution. Yeah. You go out there and you ask like, why don't we have Spotify? Why don't we have everything that I mean the major platforms of the industry? Why are they not present in our market? And why does it feel like you're not seen enough around the world? Yeah. And I think the most challenging thing has been coming from Cameroon.
Yeah.
It feels like a geographical blind spot.
Oh my God, tell me about it. I hear that a lot from artists. It's really hard, especially because it's French and English.
Yeah.
The English people think you're French. The French people think you're like English, you know.
It's a blessing.
Yeah, a curse. Yeah.
Being from Cameroon is one of the biggest challenges because you go out there and every time you have to explain yourself. Explanation to give.
Cameroon has two sides.
Yeah.
You know, I do that. I'm English. And I respect my people. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I always say that. Power to my people. Oh, yeah. But yeah, I understand that. But now, do you think about relocating?
No, I wouldn't leave Cameroon because we have already been making it here,
Mm-hmm.
and the work that I have done so far has impacted
Mm-hmm.
the world
Yeah.
from here.
Yeah.
And I think if this country needs to grow, we need our diaspora needs to expand, of course, but the inspiration, the power, the music, the source is still from here. That's why
Mm-hmm.
I'm still here. That's why I'm still
Mm-hmm.
based here. That's why the only studio
Mm-hmm.
that I have is still here. I go out there, work, and do everything I have to do, tour, and come back to the basis.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to leave because I know it's gonna change, and
Yeah.
it's not just gonna change, but we are the
Mm-hmm.
ones that are supposed to make the change. We have
Yeah.
seen a lot of our legends go away,
Yeah.
and we see the impact of that. They become big
Yeah.
worldwide, but the impact on how it changes the Cameroonian music industry
Doesn't.
is not there.
It's not
So
there.
I think Cameroon needs people like myself that have a vision of what's out there
Mm-hmm.
and can perform it and do it right here
Yeah.
so that the next generation learns. I don't think that the breakthrough is going to be from us or
Yeah.
from me or from this generation of artists.
I
But I
hope
think
so.
I think the
I would love to
future.
see the breakthrough
Well,
of it
we
from
already
us.
have our breakthrough,
Yeah.
but there is another breakthrough that is going to
Mm-hmm.
come. But
Mm-hmm.
it will not happen if we
Mm-hmm.
all leave.
Yeah.
We need to invest here. We need to build here. We
I
need to.
agree.
We need to. This is ground zero.
Yeah. So how do you balance the life of first of all, are you single, taken, married?
I'm not married, but I'm not searching.
Oh, any kids?
Yes, I got kids.
Yeah,
I got
okay.
kids. Lovely, three lovely kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
So your father,
Mm,
and then at the same time, traveling the world.
mm,
How do you balance being a daddy
yeah.
and the Hyman General? I'm still working on it. Yeah.
Well, it takes a lot of discipline because
Yes,
besides just being an artist, my life is not like any normal artist.
of course
I
not.
work for other artists.
Yeah,
I'm responsible
produce.
for the success of some of the biggest artists that this country knows. So
Mm-hmm.
while people are chilling with their families, I'm in the studio
Mm-hmm.
working for them, making music for them.
Yeah.
But I don't have much of a party life. I don't, because every extra time that I have to give that to family. I
Yeah.
have to give that to family, and I have to make sure family is always close.
Yeah, that's good.
And why not travel sometimes with
Mm-hmm.
family just to make sure
Mm-hmm.
that we keep that close. Daddy's job is to be out there and do stuff.
Yeah.
Out there, I'm Salatiel. I'm an artist, but
Yeah.
I always feel like I have two personalities: the man in the house, the father, the family man
Yeah.
is different from the artist and the star. I don't like the word,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's
You're a
different.
star, you know.
Yeah.
God's gift to
Oh
Cameroon.
yeah.
So, what is the message that you intend to put out in your music?
It's all about love, and my
Mm-hmm.
music is mostly about love and
Mm-hmm.
hustle.
Yeah,
I think
correct.
being a young African,
Mm-hmm.
it takes a lot to get out of the ghetto.
Mm-hmm.
One of our biggest fights is against poverty and low standards of living.
Mm-hmm.
So if I have to do music, it has to be to encourage young people
Yeah,
to hustle,
yeah,
but not hustle without love in your heart, because that's what destroys our societies. And we need to hustle, but we also need to love.
that's true.
So I would say my message is all about loving and working hard for ourselves and
Mm-hmm.
for the good of those that count on us, like
Yeah,
good African family men.
mm-hmm. That's good. So, what are your plans for the future? Let's say in 5 years, where do you see yourself?
It's been 10 years of career for me. This
Mm-hmm.
year makes 10 years since I released my first single as a solo
Yeah.
artist. So
Wow.
I am, first of all, celebrating 10 years the journey,
Mm-hmm.
series of concerts around Cameroon, worldwide
Mm-hmm.
tour,
Mm-hmm.
and the African tour.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, the next 5 years is going to be I mean, I think one cycle is over now,
Mm-hmm.
and it's time to begin a new cycle. We're developing new artists that we are going to put out there. But bigger than everything that we've done before, bigger than anything Mr. Leo we've done before, or Daphne, and setting up the next generation for what I am leaving. I want the next generation of artists to be bigger internationally than I am or than any artist in my generation is. So it's about preparing the next generation while doing what I'm doing, going out there touring with them, and preparing them so that by the time we're talking about the next 10 years, we should have gone a cycle again. And this time, a bigger cycle. We should have done bigger.
Amazing.
Better records as an artist director, as a developer, as a talent developer. That's
great. So you have an album that's currently out called The Family Man.
Family Man.
Yeah, The Family Man. Do we have another album coming?
This year is 10 years of anniversary. Family Man was 2024. And the tour I'm doing this year is a Family Man tour because that's the album that was out last year. But this year I'm going to have an album. The title of my 10 years anniversary is The Journey.
Oh, so The Journey. Wow, that's a beautiful name.
Yeah, I'm preparing
Love it.
Salatiel, The Journey album 2020.
Okay, that's amazing. So would you say, before we go, would you say that you're a romantic guy, or would you say that, because you sing about love, but are you romantic in real life?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Let's get in a relationship.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. So apart from being the Hyman General, I'm getting that.
Yeah.
So what else do you do?
Besides music, I like playing football.
That's good.
I play football a lot. Play football a lot.
That's why you look fit. You know, you look like a footballer. Actually.
Yeah, I could have been a footballer.
Yeah.
If I didn't have some physical knee problems.
Yeah, we all have that problem.
I like playing basketball.
That's good.
And I'm a lot into acquiring knowledge. I mean, if you look around here, you're going to see a lot of books. I'm so much into knowledge. I like being wise.
Wow, that's good. That's good. That's good. So, last question.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want the audience to know about you? Because this show is called The Real You.
Oh, yeah.
So, what do you want them to know about you that we don't already know?
Well, I mean, the audience, most people see me as Salatiel, the artist, the star, and the musician and stuff. But one thing that the audience should know about me is I'm a simple guy. I don't see myself as a star. I've never ever looked at myself and say, yeah, star. I see myself as a human being that is blessed with talent that happens to be loved by everybody. It's a blessing. And I'm just a simple guy. And I appreciate you will not impress me with the bling.
Wow, okay. Okay. So you're a simple guy.
I prefer to keep life is simple.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Life is supposed to be simple.
Okay. Amazing, amazing. Before we go, you say you sing about love. So can you sing something for me?
What do you want me to sing?
Anything.
Baby, oh, I'm not much of a talker. Baby, oh, can I drink from your water? Baby, oh, we meet down by the river. We can dance to the rhythm till the sun is high and the water runs dry. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Salatiel, for coming to my show.
The pleasure is mine.
Okay, I appreciate you so much.
The pleasure is mine, and big ups to all the Afrovibes. Big ups to the whole Afrovibes crew and to every fan of Afrovibes.
Yeah, of
course.
Welcome
to Cameroon. You should come more often.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for watching The Real You with your host, MC Charlene, aka the Energy Goddess. Stay tuned because we have many interviews coming your way. I'll see you guys soon.